Welcome back to another episode of Raul's World of Synths. I am Raul. Today we're going to be taking a look at a demonstration and hear some examples of how the controls here can affect the signal coming in. This is going to be one of the first of our sound examples that we have. I have a few more planned after this. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right in. If you look down at the bottom, this is it might kind of overwhelm you here in a second. This isn't all one patch. This is actually three separate patches. So these are going to be the three examples that are going to be coming up. We're only going to be doing one of the examples in this segment. And that one's kind of centered around the A135 right here. So let me kind of explain just a little bit about what's going on here. I have a clock from my sequencer off camera over here that's going down and out actually over to my random voltages. Those random voltages at the A149 are coming out and then going over to the quantizer over here. And then the quantizer is sending those signals out from the top segment over here into the A111. A111 is sending out a pulse, saw, and triangle wave into the A135 right here. I have, the sum output right here, and that is going to be what is giving us our audio signal. I do also have the random gates, if I didn't mention this, over here, that are triggering two different envelopes that are in turn then triggering two separate of the VCAs. I think what I did for this fourth one, although I haven't tracked the path all the way back yet, is I took, let me look just to make sure. Let's see, envelope. Yeah, let's see, that's a random gate going to this envelope, and then that envelope is going to the second VCA. And let's see, so 1, 2, 3. So then this one is going from this envelope, okay? And then this envelope is coming from the bottom envelope. So it's actually three envelopes, my mistake. At any rate, they're all being triggered in one way or another and shaped so that the amplitude goes up and down. At that point, we have our audio signal right here in this jack. So I'm going to patch it so we don't get caught up in that patch down there because it's pretty complex. And then we should be able to hear it. Now, I do need to patch out to my mixer, so let me just do that for you. Let me kind of move this, patch it all the way in. There we go. And then patch this in as well. Make sure you can still see the dials and such. There we go. I'm kind of at about a middle level input. Right there, I have no feedback on yet, and my emphasis is kind of on a low setting. If I take it all the way down, you can kind of hear, sort of got less clear. My mix control is at 50%, so it's 50% original, 50% reverb, so I'm going to bring it all the way to original. That's our original signal. And that's with a little bit of reverb right there. And let's bring in a little more reverb and just hear all reverb. So you should be able to hear that. Now let's kind of play with the emphasis control just for a moment. This is the one that kind of gives it a little boost in the 2000 hertz range. You can hear it kind of getting a little brighter right there. There's some pretty interesting sounds. Okay, so I'm going to leave the emphasis right about there and bring it back to about 50% again. And now let's go ahead and increase the amount of audio signal coming into my reverb tank. I'm just going to do this slowly so I can monitor my levels, make sure I don't overload. but also so you can kind of hear the nuance that happens as it gets higher. So that's with the audio level all the way up as it's coming in. So now let's adjust emphasis a little bit. We had some nice little slapbacks right there in our sound. So now let's go a little bit further and bring in the feedback. This is where a little bit more fun starts happening. So let me just bring in a little bit of feedback. Maybe we'll go to about, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let me bring up the level a little bit. Should be able to hear it now kind of ringing out a little bit more. Okay, now let's kind of play with the emphasis right at that setting. And bring it all the way up. Now let me bring it all the way down. And then just as an experiment, let's hear what that fully reverberated signal sounds like. So pretty cool sounds. Let's bring up the feedback just a little bit. I don't want to go too far yet. Should start ringing a little bit. Sometimes it takes like a second or two before you start to really hear it, and it starts to build up as it's going from here, back in here, and then back, and then back. So let's bring our mix control back around the center. So our feedback's at around 5. Let's go a little bit higher. Maybe about 6. There you start to get some really nice drony type sounds. Let's play with the emphasis control right there. I can tell the feedback's starting to build up right there. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. Calm it down a little. Okay. And if you were with us in the basics, you know that this also goes into self-oscillation, which should be pretty self-evident. You know, if we haven't quite gone the full scale yet on the feedback dial, on filters and such, you can definitely go into self-oscillation, and that's no different here. So let's go ahead and go there, but I'm going to have to watch my levels just to make sure that I don't overload the signal here. Or overload my ears as well. So here we go. And practice caution with your speakers too, of course. I'm just going kind of push it right into self-oscillation. We should start to hear a tone. We're not quite to the top. Let me just push it to the top. So right there is the top. And then since we're already there, let's just hear how the emphasis control affects that. And then also the mix, let's just get all reverberated. So that's pretty much all of that. And then now let's bring it back to only original. So you can kind of mix the feedback in with the signal and kind of just get a nice second drone there. And bring the feedback back. Mid-rate level, about there again, and then we'll bring our emphasis back. And so that right there is kind of a basic example of how you can do processing with the A199 Spring Reverb. First time I turned it on, which wasn't too long ago, I kind of fell immediately in love with this thing, with this guy here. Has a really rich sound, and it just kind of makes anything that you put into it sound really, really good, at least to my ears. So in the next segment, what we'll be taking a look at is just a couple of other different types of sounds. And then from that point, we may go in and kind of hear some a little bit more unusual type sounds. And then beyond that, maybe even go into an example of utilizing the external feedback and reverb out jacks here with some kind of external module for processing. So hopefully you found this video useful. Hope you enjoyed watching it and you got something out of it. And please, if you can, join us next time and hear the next example.